Hello everyone, in this video we'll be solving problem 840 magic squares in the grid. The problem statement is we are given an m by n grid with integers and we need to count total number of 3 by 3 magic squares in it. A 3 by 3 grid can be a magic square if it contains distinct numbers from 1 to 9 such that each row, column and both the diagonals have the same sum. If we look at example number 1, there are two grids of size 3 by 3 out of which only one satisfies the magic square requirement. The magic square grid starts with the first column and ends at the third one. The two rules to determine if a grid is a magic square applies here. The numbers in the grid are unique, that is 1 to 9, and the sum of each row, column and diagonal is 15, that is same. I hope you are able to understand the problem statement. Now let's switch to whiteboard and discuss potential solutions. There are two ways of solving this problem that I am aware of. We'll start with the first one, which includes a simple traversal through the entire grid. If we add all of the numbers from 1 to 9, the total is 45. Considering the requirement of looking for a 3 by 3 magic square, if we distribute all of these numbers while making sure the sum is equal, each row or column should contain the numbers that add up to 15. So that's the rule that we need to follow to determine if a particular 3 by 3 grid is a magic square. All we need to do is iterate or traverse through the entire grid 3 by 3 at a time and calculate the sum of all of the rows and columns. If the total is equal to 15, then continue, or else stop and return 0 or false. If you look at the example in front of us, the total number of elements in the first column is 15, 4 plus 9 plus 2. So it means it can be part of a magic square. So we'll increment our counter to look at the next column, which includes 3, 5 and 7. The total is still 15. So we can just continue forward to looking at the last column, which contains 8, 1 and 6. Again, the total is 15. This means that from the column's point of view, this can be part of a magic square. Now we need to look at the total number of elements at a row level. In the first row, we have 4, 3 and 8 giving the total of 15. So we'll increment our counter by 1. 9, 5 and 1 is in the second row. Totaling is 15. So we'll continue forward. The last row is 2, 7 and 6, still giving us the total of 15. It means considering both rows and columns, this is a magic square. The next step is to look at the elements in the diagonal. The first diagonal we have 2, 5 and 8 and the other is 4, 5 and 6, giving the total of 15 each. Which means this first grid of 3 by 3 is a magic square. Similarly, we'll try to iterate to the next set of grids that are available in the given input to see if it is a magic square and accordingly increment our counter. At the end, once we have traversed through all possible 3 by 3 grids, we'll return the counter as our output. With this solution, our time complexity is O of m into n, where m and n are the number of rows and columns in the given input grid. This is because we need to traverse through all possible combinations to identify if it is a magic square or not. And the space complexity is O of 1, that is constant space, as we are only using one variable to track the total number of magic squares we traverse through. I hope you are able to understand this explanation. Now let's discuss an alternate approach to solving this. In this approach, we'll be using something called number theory. Based on the rules for identifying if a particular grid is a magic square, there are only a finite number of combinations possible using the numbers 1 through 9. And reviewing all possible combinations that makes a square a magic square, we can draw few patterns out of it. The first pattern is to always expect the number 5 at the center of the 3 by 3 grid. If it is not in the center, it is not possible for the grid to be a magic square. This next pattern is to expect all even numbers from 1 to 9 to appear in the corners. And the last pattern is to expect the remaining numbers, that is 1, 3, 7 and 9, to appear in the edges, that is on the top, bottom, left and right of the center element. These patterns are not enough to determine if a grid is a magic square, but these are the starting points without having to do any calculation or doing the math on the total number of column values and row values. Once we validate that these rules are suffice, then we can look at the sum of each row and column to determine if it is equal to 15 and only then return true considering it is a magic square. The time and space complexity of this approach is still the same, but it can improve our computation because we are doing some validation before having to check the sum of each row and column. I hope the explanation was helpful. Let's do a quick walkthrough of its implementation in C#. In this C# implementation, I start by initializing two variables, rows and columns, to save the total number of columns and rows in the given grid. The count variable will hold the total number of magic squares we stumble upon during the traversal. I've added a small validation to make sure that the length of the rows and columns in the given grid is greater than 3. Next step is to iterate through all the columns and rows in a nested form to identify if it is a magic square or not. These rows and column pointer will be pointing at the first row and column, and then we'll be accordingly building the 3x3 matrix. Inside the nested loop, I'm calling the helper method isMagic, passing all the required parameters. In this helper method, I've broken down the implementation into separate segments, starting with the first check to make sure that all of the elements in the given grid are unique from 1 to 9. The next step is to calculate the total sum of each row and column. So I've broken down the implementation into 3 separate segments. The first one is to calculate the values for each of the elements in the given row. The next one is for the column, and the last one is for the diagonal. If all of the validations passes, that is sum is equal to 15, then we'll return true, which will be accordingly considered to increment the counter, or else return false. This code, when submitted on LeetCode, beats nearly 33% of the submissions in terms of runtime and 80% in terms of memory. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you are able to understand the explanation. The details to access the source code is available in the description below. Feel free to check that out, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you.